Former Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger calls out Matt Canada for not making it easy on Kenny Pickett when he knew he was struggling, and he says what he would do to fix the offense. So, Ben Roethlisberger, if you don't know, he has his own podcast called Footballin' with Ben, and he released the podcast after the 49ers game, kind of recapping the game and covering a lot of other stuff. So, in his podcast, he was talking about the Steelers versus 49ers and Kenny Pickett and Matt Canada and the offense in general. And as we all know, he even played with Matt Canada the one season, so he knows his offense. And when talking about the offense in general, just an overall perspective of the offenses he's been in, this is what he had to say about coaches making it easy for him when they knew he was struggling and how Matt Canada did not do the same. Here's the quote. I remember with Coach Randy Fiechner, we always had like the go-to play. It's just like, man, I'm a little off today. Maybe it was going no huddle where I was calling plays and I felt comfortable with, or like 2 or 3 plays that were just like the ball out of your hands right away. Maybe it's a screen or where I throw the ball to a wide receiver and he breaks a 10-yarder. Let your playmakers make plays. Like today, I thought Kenny was a little bit off, a little bit late, a little bit behind, whatever it is. At some point, it's like, don't keep trying to make the plays. Let your playmakers make the play. Sometimes they can get you into a rhythm. I completed 2, 3, 4 of them in a row. Now you're feeling it. He continued on saying, sometimes if you're not feeling it, you have to know a 7-step drop, that's not always the best high percentage play. I always thought if I was calling the plays, it's and doing it, and my guys was a little bit off, I would do everything I could to get the ball out of his hands quickly into your playmaker's hands. That's how I felt and felt when I was struggling. He was also kind of talking about how the offense, especially in the first drive, kind of took the life out of the stadium. He mentioned how the second play of the game, when they did like the jet sweep with Kelvin Austin, it was not a jet sweep, it was like a kind of forward pass kind of motion. But how when that play went backwards and the Steelers fans saw it go for negative yards, that he felt as though watching on TV that it took the life out of the stadium. And it kind of put a whole perspective of the offense being bad last year. Is it really going to be the same this season? And he mentioned that play specifically of just a bad play call. So, just looking at his comments about the offense and how he would fix it, you have to take into perspective the Steelers and Matt Canada. There's really no plays drawn up for a specific person on offense. When you think of any other offense in the NFL, you look at the plays and you see they're specifically lined up for what Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. You look at Chiefs, there's lined up for Travis Kelce. The Browns, it's lined up for Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson for the Vikings, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle for the Dolphins. And you look at those plays and they're specifically drawn up to get those players open, get those players a touch to get them in the rhythm of the game, whether that be a slant, whether that be Tyreek Hill's favorite route or something of that nature. But when you look at the Steelers, they really line up no plays to get in rhythm for Deontay Johnson or George Pickens. And even if they do get a catch, it's not like they're stacking catches on top of catches, like 2 catches in a row. Yes, it's easy to throw a screen to a guy to try to get him in rhythm, but that's not what I'm talking about when I'm talking about getting a guy in rhythm and getting a playmaker the ball, like Ben Roethlisberger is talking about. You make the receiver run their favorite route or a route they know they're going to get open on, whether that's for Deontay Johnson, which you know is a hitch route, or an out route. It seems like he always gets open on those 2 routes. You make him run those routes, get him the ball. Kenny Pickett knows he's throwing him the ball. Or George Pickens. You throw George Pickens a shoulder fade, a long pass down the field, or just his favorite route as well, which he knows he's going to get open on, or at least have a chance to catch the ball on. And you get them in rhythm of the game. Because it's so hard for an offense, especially for a wide receiver, running 50-something routes a game and knowing that you're only going to get the ball or at least targeted on like 4 of them. That takes the life and energy out of the game because then you're just running routes out there for no reason. And when you know you're just running routes for no reason, then you put less effort into it. Yes, you shouldn't put less effort into it, but that's what happens when you know you're not going to get targeted or the offense is just bad in general. And just looking at Matt Canada, with Ben Roethlisberger saying that he did not make it easy for Kenny Pickett. I kind of agree with that, but then I kind of don't agree with it because the Steelers weren't running anything special where they were running deep routes down the field. Everything was short routes anyway. I understand like the play calling and the play calls, the route scheme could have been better, but all the route concepts were short anyway. So it's not like Kenny Pickett had to make some big decisions. Oh, I'm gonna throw it deep here. I'm gonna throw it in the middle of the field here. It's really, I'll call it short routes anyway. So it really wasn't really putting him in a tough situation. So that part I didn't really agree on, but obviously you could do better with the play calling. And that play call with the jet sweep on the second play of the game where he kind of pitched the ball forward a little bit on the jet sweep, that play, I did believe once I saw that, that kind of did kind of make me realize the offense, is it really going to be the same? Because that jet sweep, the pitfall of the Steelers offense and kind of the stand mark of what they do, that kind of relayed into the season thinking it was being different. And when the Steelers didn't get a first down until basically the very end of the second quarter, right before halftime when they went to the no huddle, that kind of really showed that the Steelers offense, what is it really going to be this year? Is it really going to be the exact same? But when you look at the Steelers offense, you just can't put the whole entire blame on Matt Canada. Yes, it's easy to put the blame on him for the offensive struggles for the whole day because in his last 36 games with the team, the Steelers have 0 games with over 400 yards on offense. And the last time that they reached and cracked over 400 yards was in their wild card loss to the Cleveland Browns during the 2020 season. So yes, you could put the blame on Matt Canada for this game based off his whole resume and him struggling through the last 3 seasons as a Steelers offensive coordinator. But when you look at the game in general, a lot of people were struggling. It seems like their entire offensive line could not block for anything. They cannot even hold a position in the run game or the pass game. Dan Moore Jr. was terrible. Isaac Seumalo, who was supposed to be a big stepping stone and the big blocker up front in the offseason addition and free agency, he was also pretty bad. He was better in the run game than the pass game, but the pass game, if you look at the plays, he got beat a lot. Center Mason Cole, he was kind of average. I didn't see too much bad from him, but he still was not great as well. James Daniels, he was probably the best blocker of the day, but he was better in the run game than the pass game. And then Chukwueze Okorafor, he had the lowest grade of the Steelers offensive linemen of the day. So you look at the offensive line, they weren't blocking well. You look at Kenny Pickett, he was missing so many throws, and it's not even as if he was missing throws on hard throws. He was missing it on short throws and just missing it and was off today. And he was missing it and throwing interceptions as well. He should have thrown 3 interceptions, but he had only 2. So when he turned the ball over, you know Mike Tomlin always says you have to win in the turnover game, but the Steelers, they just did not do it. So Kenny Pickett was off, the offensive lineup was off, and that's kind of hard and makes it hard on your offensive coordinator as well. Because if you know your offensive line can't block, that means you can't call run plays because then you're only getting 1 or 2 yards every single time you run the ball, and that's not going to work. And you just don't want to call run plays anymore. And then they're down by so much that they have to call throwing plays that it just took the whole 49ers defense and knew what the Steelers were going to do. They knew they were going to throw the ball. So you look at the offensive coordinator, it made it hard on him because the offensive line wasn't blocking. Kenny Pickett wasn't making his throws. So if Kenny Pickett's not making his short throws, why would Matt Canada call deep throws and say, hey, Kenny Pickett, you're missing all these short ones, but just go ahead and throw it long, and hopefully you make those throws and make the harder throws, but you can't make the short throws. So you have to put the blame on both Kenny Pickett and Matt Canada. But once again, I know it's only week 1 and it's all rusty. Even though they played in the preseason every single game, it's still the regular season against the 49ers defense, probably one of the best defenses in the NFL. So you have to see it's week 1, they're rusty, and hopefully in week 2 against the Browns, they're able to bounce back, which you know is capable of happening because we've seen late in last season what the Steelers were able to do. So you have to kind of look at the game and realize that the plays were the similar as last season, but then also say, hey, week 2 is coming along. We just played week 1, the opener. Maybe now we just move on to the next game and stuff will be different. But you also have to look through the film and realize you have to be better as well. So with that being said, let me know down in the comments below, how do you feel about Ben Roethlisberger's comments about Matt Canada and how he did not make it easy for Kenny Pickett. Do you agree with it? Also, do you agree with his changes that he would do to the Steelers offense if he was running things? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well if you like serious content, analysis reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications down below for this channel so you get notified whenever I post the next Steelers video on the channel, and you get notified to watch it right away. Stay up to date with all new Steelers rumors, highlights, reports, analysis, everything like that. So, like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.